Welcome to Apache Mastery, Lesson 2. 5 minutes from a blank machine to your first real edit. We'll do 4 things. Install Apache and verify it's running. Look at the default site so you know where files actually live. Make one deliberate edit to replace that It Works page, and then drill the loop that everything else in this course rests on. Edit, config test, reload, verify. Same loop today. Same loop in Lesson 12 when we ship to production. Here's the shape of the next few minutes. First, you install Apache on Debian or Ubuntu with a single apt command, then verify 3 ways: systemctl, curl, and a browser, because trusting without verifying is how you learn bad habits. Second, you actually look at the default site most people never inspect. 3 files, that's it. Third, you make one deliberate edit to prove you control what's served. And fourth, you internalize the loop. Edit, config test, reload, verify, the same 4 steps you'll run in Lesson 4 for vhosts, Lesson 6 for htaccess, and Lesson 11 for SSL. So let's name the loop directly. Step 1, edit. Open a config file or an HTML file in Vim, Nano, or sed, and save it. Step 2, config test. Ask Apache, is my syntax valid? With apache2 ctl config test, and if it fails, you stop right there. Step 3, reload. Systemctl reload apache2. Graceful, no downtime. Step 4, verify. Curl, browser, or log, because until you've checked, you haven't actually finished. 4 steps. Every time, forever. With the loop in mind, let's actually get Apache on the box. Installation is 1 line, apt update, apt install apache2, and systemd auto enables the service for you. But verification deserves 3 separate checks because each one answers a different question. Systemctl is active tells you the process is alive. Curl against localhost proves HTTP is actually responding with a 200. And SS confirms port 80 is bound and owned by Apache2. If any one of those 3 disagrees with the others, congratulations, you've just located your bug. Now that Apache is responding, let's demystify what it's actually serving. The famous It Works page isn't magic, it's just 3 files working together. Ports.conf decides which ports Apache listens on, 000default.conf defines the default virtual host and points document root at var.w.html, and inside that folder sits the index, XML you saw in the browser. Port, vhost, content, that's the whole chain. Once you can name those 3 files, you own the default site, and you can start changing it with intent instead of guessing. So let's own that default site right now. Step 1. Confirm the current page with curl and grep. There's the Ubuntu default h1. Step 2. Overwrite var www html index.html with your own markup using sudo t. Step 3. Curl again. Your h1 is live. No reload required. And here's the distinction worth burning in. This was a content edit, so the 4-step loop doesn't apply. Touch a config file, though, and you're back to edit, config test, reload, verify. Every time. Now we touch a real config file, so the loop is mandatory. Step 1, open the default vhost and add server signature on. That appends Apache's version banner to error pages. Step 2, apache2 ctl config test, and we wait for syntax OK before doing anything else. Step 3, systemctl reload. Graceful, silent, connections stay alive. Step 4, curl any missing page and check the tail. That address line proves the directive is live. 90 seconds, 4 steps, and this exact rhythm carries you all the way through to the L12 production configs. So why labor this rhythm? 3 reasons. Config test catches the missing semicolon or unclosed virtual host in 50 milliseconds. Free insurance? Always use it. Reload is not restart. Reload rereads config while connections stay alive. Restart kills every in-flight request, so default to reload and restart only when reload won't pick up the change. And verify with curl because the config test passing only proves syntax. Maybe you edited the wrong file, maybe a vhost overrides yours. Believe the curl, not your assumption. So here's your cheat sheet. 7 commands, print it, tape it next to your monitor. 1 install, 1 edit, 1 config test, 1 reload, and 3 verifies bracketing the whole thing. Is the process alive? Is HTTP answering? And did my specific change actually land? The 5-star ones, install, config test, reload, and the final curl, are non-negotiable. The others you'll internalize so deeply that by lesson 4, when we hit vhosts, your fingers will type them before your brain catches up. Now it's your turn. 3 drills, each one a complete loop in miniature. Drill 1. Install Apache and prove it's alive 3 different ways. Process, HTTP, socket, because trusting one signal is how you get fooled at 2 in the morning. Drill 2. Edit the welcome page and notice you don't reload because content isn't config. Drill 3. The real thing. Touch a vhost file, run all 4 steps, and deliberately break it to watch config test save you. That last one is the muscle we're building. Once those drills click, here's what you're really practicing against. 5 mistakes the loop exists to catch. Editing, then reloading without config test, and Apache refuses to come back up. Config test passes, but you forget the reload, so your change isn't actually live. Reaching for restart when reload would do, and dropping every in-flight connection. Editing apache2.conf when vhosts belong in sites available. And the quiet killer. Skipping verify because the reload was silent. If you ever catch yourself doing one of these, you skipped a step. Go back to the loop. And that's lesson 2 in the bag. Apache is installed and verified, the default site is mapped, your first edit shipped, and the loop is starting to feel like muscle memory. Next up is lesson 3, httpd.conf anatomy. We'll open apache2.conf as the entry point. Follow the include directives that stitch the whole file tree together and get you reading the config with real confidence. See you there.